Hello everyone, welcome to next session. In this session, we will understand the most important topic in Wiremock, that is request matching. So, what is request matching? So, request matching is a feature of Wiremock that allows you to provide different type of matching within the stub mapping. Right. So, suppose so if we are getting any request at the mock API, right? So I will so we have a Wiremock standalone server deployed, and it is able to accept the request, right? The API request from the client, from any client, or might be any application, right? So in that case, Wiremock should be able to identify, should be able to scan the stubs. So how that is done? So that is done on the basis of request matching, right? So request, in the request matching, we have different type of match that are available that will help so that our Wiremock feature that will help it to identify which request will match the which stub mapping, right? So we can have multiple hundreds of stub mapping. So if I am sending any request, which request will match that mapping, that stub mapping, it will be decided by this request matching, right? So this is quite flexible feature that is provided by the Wiremock. So these are the all the options that are available. The first one is the URL match. So in case of URL match, we have different type of match style that are available, like any URL, path only match, path regex. You can also use regular expression. Each and every topic we will discuss in detail because that's quite important. And next, moving forward, we will discuss the HTTP method. So URL and HTTP method we will discuss together because these are used together, right? Because these both go hand in hand. So in HTTP method, request matching will helps to identify which type of request, which type of request the Wiremock will match, right? Incoming request, which stub mapping will match, whether it should be match the get request, whether post or whether the put or post or delete, right? So for each of these, different methods are available that are provided by different classes like mapping builder, and we have Wiremock client class that is quite important, we have already discussed. Next thing is the query parameters. Those are passed along with the resource URI, right? Those are separated by comma separated, and those are key value pairs. So to match the query parameter, there are two ways. So one is within the URL itself, and the next one is the separate method that is available to match the query parameter. We will discuss both of them separately in detail. Next come the header, where you need to match the headers, the incoming headers. So please note, these are limited to request only. We are not talking about response here. So response will be identified by this request matching, which request, what rules we provide to the Wiremock to match. So here we will use headers, right? So suppose, so how it will go, like it will if I am giving a header match, it will expect a header to be there in the incoming request, then only it will match, right? So we can use this, all this in a one single stub also, right? For a tighter match, or we can say for more control over the stub mapping. Similarly, we have basic authentication. So basic authentication we have on this authorization header, right? That is in an encoded format, base 64 encoded format. So here also we have a separate method to implement this basic authentication, where we want that this for particular stub or for the whole API, we need the user or the client to pass username and password, then only it can get back the expected response, else it will send the default response. We will configure this also. Next is cookies. Cookies is very similar to the headers. Here also we will send the cookies in the request, and it will we will have a stub mapping that will match the cookies and values. So cookies are there in key value format, just like headers. Here we will understand how to send cookies using Postman in a request, and how to match those in the stub mapping using Wiremock. Next we have request body. So this is quite a vast topic. So in request body we have different types of request match. Like we have the JSON equality, where you can match if the incoming request, whole request is coming as expected or not, and then only it will send back the response, right? So here the stub will identify what request body is coming, and accordingly it will send back. So there are different methods available which we will use in our upcoming sessions. And also we will discuss JSON path as well in the request body itself. So the next and the last thing is multi-part form data. So for multi-part form data also we will discuss. So this is in itself a separate request. So you can use any of these above request matching style which we have discussed in the multi-part form data also. And in its own also it has its own method, where we will discuss how to implement that and how to get started. So our further few of our sessions, or I would say different sections I have created. Our upcoming session will be on these will be around these topics, right? So let's start with our first session, that is URL matching. Thank you.